All right. Hey everyone, I'm Chris.
I'm Pat.
And for the next couple weeks, we're going to be discussing DC Rebirth, all the new one-shots, the new series, versus Civil War 2, and seeing how they're playing to our different fan bases. I'm a Marvel guy.
I'm a DC guy.
And we're going to split books, we're going to compare and contrast, and see where our expectations meet reality down the road. Last week, everyone knows Rebirth was the second biggest book
Stinker.
in the comic book universe, thanks to the gimmick of Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Yeah.
And the big reveal at the end is, by now everyone knows, the comedian's pin is in the Batcave, which is what leads us into the 4 Rebirth books that come out this week. Batman, Green Lantern, Superman, and Green Arrow. The biggest question for me with Rebirth, Pat, was how do I know which book to read after Rebirth to find out more about the big revelation at the end?
Oh, you don't.
We have no idea.
You don't.
Right.
So they did terrible on that. There's nothing, like normally DC at the end of most crossovers, they have that in there. They had nothing. It was awful. It was bad.
So we're going to open with Batman Rebirth #1, the one-shot that comes out this week, or came out on Wednesday. And we're going to assume, as not being a DC guy, that since the last page of Rebirth ends with Batman in the Batcave and the big reveal, that the first page in this is going to pick up right where we... No. Not at all.
Oh, cool. Would you expect DC to do that?
No. We're Monday spring, and Alfred and this new character, Duke, that we have not yet seen before, never been introduced as far as I know.
There's a bunch of new characters coming out with Rebirth. It's going to be confusing for the first few weeks, I have a feeling.
Okay. The first negative thing I want to get out on this book, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on each book here, is this right here drives me nuts. This Monday spring. Okay? They do that trick 3 times in this book. That's almost half a page of art and story that they're just whipping away.
They're too lazy.
Because it's lazy to spend this kind of time when Wednesday Fall could be up here in a little panel. That's all we would need. Adds nothing to the book. Speaking of adding nothing to the book.
Oh, that stuff. It's been so annoying.
This book is 20 pages of actual story. There's the last page. Add. Batman is in 3 pages at the end of this book, and they're all ads for other Batman books. Now, off to the good part about this. There are some hints in here that we're going to get follow-ups to the Watchmen story. The Calendar Man goes through a metamorphosis, and they talk about him coming back stronger each time he puts himself back together. That's exactly a reference to Dr. Manhattan from the early stages of the Watchmen. So I have to think that this is going to continue going forward, and as we've discussed, I really think that Gotham Guy and Gotham Girl are Night Owl and Silk Spectre, and we don't get a single reference to anything to do with Gotham Guy and Gotham Girl in this issue. I have to think that's going to be Batman #1 when it comes out, but we will see. The new Robin bat suit in here is yellow. That's the other big...
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yes, but it's very Silk Spectre-esque.
Yeah.
Even though it's a guy, it still has a Watchmen look to it. There are certain things in this book that are interesting. I could do a whole book on this. So we're just going to move on from this for a second here, and we'll cycle back to that in another week or two when Batman 1 comes out, I'm sure. Next one is Green Lanterns.
That's a big one.
Now this is your wheelhouse.
It's my kid Caboose right there.
Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz.
I'm pumped. I'm so excited to finally give Simon Baz some publicity.
Right. So Simon Baz is back. We haven't seen him since Justice League of America.
Exactly, which was terrible.
Right. Jessica Cruz is all new. She was just out of the Darkseid War.
I'm pumped they made her. She's hot too.
Yes.
So it's nice to have like a hot Green Lantern for once.
Yes.
It's about time.
And they introduce a new character in here. He's one of the Guardians. He's disappeared. He comes back. And he unleashes this rainbow-looking thing at the bottom.
How many Guardians can they have?
As many as they need.
They killed off, at the end of like New 52, they killed a bunch of them off, and they brought more on. Okay. Like, they're stupid.
Okay. One thing that I like about this is that Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz, the rings are tethered together.
What?
Yeah. So they're stuck together.
That's weird.
Yeah. So they're like, I don't know that they're half a lantern apart. I think it's more they're just stuck together like handcuffs, sort of.
That's weird.
It's weird, but it's an interesting dynamic. The only thing that I want to get from you, because I had read on Comic Book Resources, they had done a preview, and I'm trying to find it. Here it is, the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
Simon Baz is Muslim.
Yeah.
Okay?
Always been.
And I just want to make sure that this is not going to be a political book. Because it opens with Simon Baz wiping off the word terrorist on his sister's garage door. And is this going to be an every week thing that we have to be reminded that he's Muslim?
When they introduced Simon Baz, he blew up a police facility. So, like,
apparently by accident.
Yeah, but it wasn't him. It was all. So he was originally suspected to be a terrorist when he first came out. So, like, he was being hunted by the Justice League as a terrorist. Like, everybody was looking for him. Everybody was wondering why he had Hal Jordan's ring. It was like, what's going on? Like, are you? Like, so they did think he was a terrorist. And like I said, when they cut him out, they never really went back to that story. So maybe they're kind of going back to that and seeing people's reactions. But I mean, we're almost 3 years from that. So like, why would you go back to a 3-year-old thing?
I'm really hoping we could just have a Green Lantern story that isn't going to be political. Because I read the news when I want the news.
It always is.
I read comics when I want entertainment.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a pretty solid story. They're really setting the table. Hal Jordan makes a cameo in it.
Nice.
So it looks like it's a very true Green Lantern story. That's my big concern with it. And again, we're going to see how these two, it looks like it's going to be a buddy cop thing where they're a mismatched team. And they're going to have to learn to work together in addition to having their own personality. So we'll see how that works.
I'm excited for that. I'm not excited for the other one, which is Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns. That's going to be weird.
Okay, so let's move on to Civil War and take a break because we got 2 more books to go through. One of them good, one of them not great.
So we got Civil War. Civil War 1 came out this week. 0 was last week, as we know. Right. The movie just dropped, but that nothing to do with the movie. So now my understanding of Civil War, I was young in the comic game when the first Civil War came out, and to me, it's one of the best crossover events I've ever read. It was so great, and when they announced they were doing Civil War 2, I was not happy about it. I don't. This is like Ghostbusters. You don't need to rehash it. There's no reason they should have done it again. But I'm excited for it. It was a good book. The preview guide opened up with a hint of death, and we find out that in this book the person does actually die. So that's pretty nice. So Marvel, isn't DC. They're sticking to their guns. But for the book, all in all, if we go into it, the expectations, obviously we get right off the cover. Iron Man, Captain Marvel. So it's probably going to be the two of them going at it. There's an Inhuman here in the middle. You can see the future. And that's where the whole story starts. He sees the future, and Thanos shows up, and Thanos kills Cap's best friend. Or not Cap, Iron Man's best friend, who was Cap's love, I guess, interest at the time.
Captain Marvel and Rhodey are romantically engaged.
Yeah, they're doing some stuff on the side. Yes. So, if that's where the fight's going to start, I don't get it. I feel like they could have come up with a better idea. I don't.
Well, let me ask you a question. In the book, they lock Thanos up.
Yeah. So he doesn't even make an appearance in this one.
Right. Doesn't make an appearance.
It was only the previews.
He's locked up.
Yeah.
Do you think Thanos comes back into play later in this story?
Oh, of course he does. It's Thanos, dude. Like that's my biggest problem with Marvel. I've always had a problem with Marvel with that. Is that Thanos is just like always comes to play in every single storyline. And I feel like every big crossover, Thanos is involved. Like, get somebody out. Try something different. Try something different.
I understand that, but isn't that sort of what DC does with Darkseid?
Yeah, but DC has done crossovers with other ones. Like, we just got that awful convergence with Telos. So, like, but Telos wasn't bad. It was just a terribly done storyline by awful writers. Darkseid comes around a lot, but not as much as Thanos. I feel like there's every crossover in the Marvel world, Thanos is involved. It's just dumb. What? Coming off of Darkseid War? Yeah, Darkseid War just dropped, but, like, I don't know. Like, they go back to him, but, like, he's not always in every crossover. Every Marvel crossover, Thanos makes an appearance. Every single one. That's my only problem I really don't like about Marvel. But, all in all...
Was he in the original Civil War?
I don't remember. No, I don't think he did.
He was not.
No, that's right. He didn't show
No, he was not.
I forgot. Yeah,
right.
he was dead at the time, wasn't he?
Yes.
So
and Infinity War.
So one Marvel crossover got Thanos.
One of the Infinity ones had Galactus.
But did that
with the ridiculous Ultimate Nullifier and the Fantastic Four, who we're not supposed to name because they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, but we also had Thanos showed up in Civil War and gets his spine ripped out. Like he always Secret Wars. He always shows up.
Yeah, but Doctor Doom's the villain in that. Yeah. Here's moving on.
Yeah.
What side do you find yourself on at this point
I haven't made
After
it.
number
I
one.
haven't picked a side yet. I
You have
haven't.
not yet picked. Where are you leaning, based on what you've seen here? Because I read this, and I definitely have a side.
I like
here.
Iron Man side more here.
Really?
His best friend just died. If my best friend died, I'd go to war, I guess, if I was Iron Man. I'm leaning on Iron Man's side. Iron Man, he's always caring, thinking about the future. But I'm still torn because I get Captain Marvel's side. They're trying to do something good. They're trying to stop something. And they're trying to really, I'm in the middle. I'm still in the middle. I hope by next issue I will have my allegiance decided. Where are you leaning?
Believe it or not, I am also falling on the Iron Man side,
Really?
just because the implications in this, with the guy being able to see the future, you're talking about a police state. You're talking about
Exactly.
you're talking about prosecuting future crimes, and that's the Captain Marvel side right now.
Yeah.
Now that could change because the way that this book runs down, I have a bad feeling that one of these two sides is going to let Thanos out at some point. That's going to be the big turning point in this book. Is going to be Thanos gets out, and then it gets revealed that one of the sides did it.
I mean, I see where they're going. I get the whole
And
goodness
it feels like Iron Man or someone on Iron Man's team has to be the one to do it. And I'm at that point. I think I'm going to have to switch sides.
Exactly. That's what
They're going to take it too
They're
far.
going to force you on a Captain Marvel side. I feel like by the end of the story.
I find myself on Iron Man's side, but I feel reading the book that they really want me to be like, Iron Man's a jerk.
Yeah.
Of course, if you could stop something from happening, you would do it.
But his best bro died. Like that's your bro. Like bros. All that's your bro, man. Like I get it. Like I understand. Rhodey was not on her team. He shouldn't have been there. Like you know what I mean. Like it's his best bro. Like I feel bad for him. Like I understand where he's coming from. My problem with Cap's side, like you said, with the police state, we just saw that with Dark Civil War, where Batman the Mobius Sheriff was putting everybody in jail, and even Gordon was like, "Yeah, you got to stop. Like we can't prosecute." So I get where you're going there. Like I think that's bad. So we'll see. It should be good. Marvel's been hitting on everything right now lately. Marvel's been killing. I haven't read really a bad storyline from Marvel in the past year and a half. So
I'll introduce you to Red Wolf later.
Red Wolf's son. But I'm hoping that Marvel. I would imagine they're gonna do a good job with this book.
Okay, so let's finish up here.
DC.
Let's finish up here quickly with Superman. Now I know Steve. Our Wednesday Steve, was a big fan of this book. There's a lot to like in here. Story-wise, it is the strongest of the four.
Nice.
Because it's mostly a retelling.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's on me. That's what happens when you run the store. Panther Comics, this is Chris.
This is what happens when you run the store on a daily basis. You know?
Mm-hmm. I completely sold out. It'll be back in stock next week, but I'm only going to have a couple coming in. So you're going to have to just check back in next week on it. Yeah, nobody's going to have it this week.
Some guy, it's my cap.
Yes, it did.
The new cap.
Wednesdays. Yep. Yep. How we going, buddy? Bye.
So can we get to so was someone really asking for cap? Was asking for the new cap that was like
Every day.
That book? If you don't have that book, like I made the mistake of not buying that book, and I want to like kill myself for it. If you don't have that book, this is a little madness for everybody. If you don't have that book next week, get out, find it, or you will not get it. You will not get it.
Okay, so
it's crazy. It's a $10 book already. So good luck finding it.
So the big thing in Superman Rebirth is the 2-page spread, and it's a retelling of Superman, the Lois and Clark Superman in the black suit with the long hair, and how he came to be and how he came back to life. And it's Lana Lang is in this, and her and the new Superman, which is the old Superman, is trying to break in, trying to steal Superman's body to bring him back to life using the Kryptonian artifacts.
Nice.
And there's a twist at the end of this. It is the strongest story. We actually have a direction with this book where the first two, it's still the characters sort of being introduced to us. I'm still not sure where this is going to go because nothing, obviously gets resolved at the end of this. We don't have a villain in this book yet. Where in Batman, we clearly have the Calendar Man, the Green Lanterns. We have events starting to take fold here. Superman is still just it's the quest to figure out how to bring him back.
Let's be real. It's gonna be Doomsday. It's gonna be Doomsday.
I have to think it's gonna be Doomsday.
It's gonna be Doomsday. That's the thing I hate about Superman comics. Doomsday always gets brought up. It's probably gonna be Doomsday, but we'll see. Maybe Lex Luthor will make an appearance. Well, they haven't used him in a while, so.
Okay.
You know.
Well, Lex Luthor's Superman now.
That's right.
Yes,
he's in. But how do we know he's not gonna be a villain?
Because he's the Superman in Action Comics.
Yeah, but he could turn. I don't trust Lex. I don't trust that. I don't trust him. I think by the end of the first story arc, Lex Luthor, those two. I guarantee you, by the end of the first year, those two books will cross over, and Lex Luthor is gonna be a villain.
Is this about bald guys?
Yeah, it's about bald guys. Bald guys are all. You don't trust the bald guy. Don't trust them.
So this is our first and last video. Last book this week, Green Arrow, Rebirth.
With an ugly black canary in the cover.
I was very hesitant to even try this book because of the variant cover with her on the cover. She looks like a 14-year-old girl going to a.
He looks like a perv.
What's the Joker band? The Mars.
Oh.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah,
like she's going to a 30 Seconds to Mars concert.
Yeah, dude, it makes Ollie look like a perv.
I am pleased to say that she does not actually look like that in the interior of the book.
Oh, thank God.
Thank goodness. It's a very simple story. Green Arrow meets Black Canary again. She remembers him. He does not remember her. They're saving a kid. Ends up with an auction with the Underground Men, who I'm guessing are Green Arrow villains.
Yeah.
Generic villains. They look kind of like Mole Men, like the Fantastic Four Mole Men. And they're doing an auction for children. And they go in and they break it up. And then they end up sort of reintroducing each other to you. That dude looks a little like the Red Skull for my liking. A little bit like the Red Skull.
He does. He does. That's a cop out, Red Skull.
Yeah, it's a cop.
Come on, they both do it to each other. DC and Marvel steal characters and stuff all the time.
And I don't know what kind of like fight the power thing these two are doing down here at the bottom.
I like it.
But I feel like the original artwork had them giving the finger.
It probably did.
And they decided to just
it
cut
probably
that out.
did, but DC should have just been a man and did it. Like
right.
In the variant cover.
I mean, that definitely feels like they're trying to flip somebody off.
Yeah, they should have put it in the variant cover.
You know, and then the end of the book, again, it ends with the will they, won't they, with the close up of their mouths getting closer to each other. Right. So once again, we're going back. But again, this is a running theme in these one-shots that I'm not crazy about. Add.
Yeah, it's stupid. So wait, now I was reading some stuff to the Green Arrow. They were going to go back to more of kind of tied in with this TV series. You're going to get a TV series feel to the Green Arrow book. Did you get that from that book at all, or no?
Kind of. It's very dark.
Yeah.
It's very moody.
Yeah.
We'll see. Fortunately, Felicity Smoke does not make an appearance in this book.
Which annoys me. She's such a.
She will. I'm sure Green Arrow #1 will have Diggle and Smoke, and
they're such great characters.
And
they showed up. In the New 52, and then after conversions, they got rid of them. Like you had no clue who they were. They never made an appearance. It wasn't which was so annoying because they're such great characters. Like I loved it. Like Felicity and him are such great characters. Show why would you not bring them into your universe? Why would you that's like Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's amazing in the animated series. They brought her into the universe, and look how big of a character she's become.
But she's part of the new Trinity. She's the Trinity +1.
Yeah. So it should be.
It's gonna have 6 books by August.
It's gonna be awesome.
6 books.
Awesome. But they're overloading the market with it though. But we'll see.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know that Harley Quinn has a ceiling. That's a different debate for a different day.
Yeah.
That about wraps it up for us this week. If you have any thoughts on this stuff, please let us know in the comments. Did you get that? I didn't get that.
I saw about a new show. He's sitting in the back there going, new show. So we got some new shows starting. We have a new review show. I'm getting out of that. Steve's got a new partner in the review show. John, right? Taking over for him?
Yeah, I think that's temporarily.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Your plate's going to be pretty full.
Yeah, I got the new DC. I'm going back and review the new 52 once this show finishes up. We're going to go back, look at new 52, look at the rises, the falls, some of the good story crossovers. We get some good stuff in there. I will defend new 52 because there were some great crossovers. I don't know what else he's asking me to say right now.
Me and Chris are deconstructing Image.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Deconstruction of Image.
Oh, great.
That's gonna be really interesting. Yeah. Image has got a bunch of new books coming out. That god awful one.
No, this is the 90s.
Oh, you're doing the 90s stuff.
This is Shadowhawk.
Oh,
Union,
that's gonna be awesome.
Gen 13.
That is gonna be.
I read my first Spawn book. I got bummed out.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I like Spawn was good for like the first
It was the Alan Moore one shot.
15 issues. I liked Spawn.
It was the Alan Moore one shot. It was they're going through hell. Billy Kincaid's the main character.
I liked
and
it.
it was just there was nothing fun about the book.
It wasn't, but it's not a fun read. I
No.
don't. You're not gonna be. I don't think you're gonna like Spawn. You're
not.
more into fun reads. You're not into those.
I never was gonna like Spawn in the 90s.
Yeah, Spawn. We'll get into that. We'll get into that another day. Let's stick with Civil War and DC
Right.
Rebirth right now.
Right.
So,
A lot of stuff coming to the YouTube channel.
all right. Have a
We'll
good day,
see you
guys.
next week. Yeah.